What's up, everyone? Welcome to the show. 4th Street, Austin, Texas. I took this picture a couple days ago after a long day of skating, and I figured I'd stop, get a good time. Here, let me get out of the way so you can see it. Here we go. Let me know if you guys like it, man. Hashtag the ATX. But it was an amazing day. I'm feeling a lot better, recovered a lot more from the skating. So now I'm just setting up for the morning, and I figure I get up here, blaze one with y'all. But yes, sir, Silver Vlogs, we up. Look, glad. I'm glad I could be of service in one way, shape, or form. I'm on my way out, homie, and I figured I'd share what I've learned the first 40 something years. But the kicker, man, like I said, that old crazy white man that keeps showing up in my house, in my life, who said, bending reality is the easy part. Knowing what the fuck you want, well, Max, that takes a couple of lifetimes sometimes. Some people are just that slow. For me, it took me until I was 40 years old to realize, oh man, I might want to fucking focus on fixing me and not trying to impress anyone. Just make sure I'm in the position that if somebody asks for help, I'm able to without it being at my detriment. Anyway, it's just I'm glad. Yep, yep. I'll be here. Got it. Hang on. Let me do the math real quick. I got a little over 12,000 days left, and I count days because when that number goes down, you ask yourself, did I do everything I wanted to do, benefiting all involved today, or did I waste it? And then the next day, it's one less day, and the number goes down. Take a marble out of the group, and you see it dwindling down. Puts a little perspective, and everybody's like, that's kind of morbid and whatever. I'm like, if it gives you anxiety knowing how many days you have left, then maybe you really should do something about your life. And it's not even a real thing, it's just saying the average human lifespan. It's pretty cool. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm amazing. Just reflecting on an amazing fucking day. Like it's there's times that you take things for granted. Like for example, I realized the other day that I have first world problems. In other words, I have no problems. You know what I mean? I have a place to stay. I got food to eat. I have good friends, and I have no problems, bro. So I got no room to complain. All I can do is just be of service. My complaints are like, damn, I should have done better. I should have. It's always about me being better. I can't complain about anybody else. Everybody's going through their journey. Now, I'm human. That takes everyday effort to not do, but I think it's a worthy cause. Are you good? That's the question. What's on your mind? Let's go. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, guys. I see you guys pushing the channel. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for your help. It's always fun, man. And we're going to celebrate with each milestone. And I'm going to celebrate with you guys. I don't really celebrate much when it comes to things. I celebrate my friends a lot more. And since we've kind of grown together, I'll fucking celebrate it once we hit the next milestone. And the milestone that we got to hit is just people watching. It's just, and once we get there, we're going to have a little party time celebration. Probably have all the homies around. Turn it on. If y'all show up, y'all show up. If not, you're just gonna have to watch it later. But life is pretty good. I just wanted to get on here, man, and let you guys know that I appreciate everything, and I appreciate you guys uh, signing in and coming here, and to the homies in the other countries, getting on VPNs, and I don't take it for granted. I take the fact that there's extra steps for y'all to get on here and watch. I don't take that for granted because all I have to do is push a fucking button and start talking to you guys. And some of y'all live in countries where you can't even do that. So I appreciate it. Every last person that gets on here and comments and is respectful to others, follows others, and support the fucking growth, man. Let's build this community. I am probably gonna start building Discord. I gotta learn all this stuff so we can stream fucking full time and have more people come around, man. So we have more conversations. The more people that are on here, the less dead space there is. You know, the more we interact and the more I don't know where everybody is on their journey, and if somebody mentions where they are on their journey and we want to help and we're in the position to support, let's do it. And if we have a big enough community, we can just go ahead and build each other's hustles up, man. That's what we're supposed to do, man. Take care of everyone. What else are you like? It's not lonely at the top. You know, you heard that saying, it's lonely at the top. It's not lonely at the top, you know. It's only lonely at the top if you're a fucking asshole coming up. So nobody wants to hang out with you no matter how much money you have. That's the only reason it's lonely at the top for those people. Nova, what's good? Now, thank you for checking in, man. Thank you guys. It's like for as long as there's somebody's here, I'm gonna keep fucking talking to you guys. But I'm getting ready to sign off. So unless somebody else is still on here, if that thing goes to zero, I'm out. And it's not because oh no, you're good, bro. You're good. It was a quick one. It was just I was just getting ready to head out. But like I said, man, I'm doing my best. I enjoy having conversations with you guys. And one of the things is I don't like restarting them as much, and I'll probably start scheduling a regular one. So there's gonna be a regular one. Let me know what you guys think, man. Should I have one on a regular time and then everything in between just here and there, or do you guys like the way it's going, where it's just it is regular, but it's more like it's not so much when what time. Um, but eventually, man, this is kind of following my cycle of my circadian rhythm. Yeah, and I appreciate it. And also, it's easier when it's kind of working on, like I said, on my circadian rhythm because I'm not tired, I'm not pushing. It's actually, I'm really talking to you guys about my life after doing something. Like, if you watch, like, at 3, 4 streams ago, you'll see it was just at the skate park, just filming the homies doing moves and a couple of scenes of us hanging out. But it was just 6, 7 hours of skate park shenanigans, and I can't wait for the videos to come out. I'm definitely posting them on this channel on top of Instagram. So But I'm usually pretty active on IG because we promote the club and the fellow homies, other comics. 100%, man. I literally, yeah, same one. Pothead Chimp, same name on on all platforms for now. Pothead Chimp on Twitter, Instagram, or X, IG, Facebook. Yep, yes sir. Same as the YouTube. I appreciate it. Ooh, even this much, man. Is it a hybrid that homie hooked me up with? It's excellent for this time. Man, I really appreciate it, Nova. I enjoy having talks with you guys. Everybody that comes around here, it's just life. Have real conversations, not about some movie or some other person's life. Let's talk about what's going on in your life. How awesome is your life? That's all right. This is just a tool slash medication. So it has nothing to do with that. But the thoughts are real thoughts and the conversations are real. We're not faking anything. There's not a script around here. We talk about anything and everything. The thing about smoking is just something that triggers certain thought processes. It slows down. Man, it was windy. It was really windy today, and it's like a lot of dust in the air. It was crazy. Like really high winds here in Central Texas. So it's kind of, yeah. We had a little bit of rain yesterday. Well, that comes from ignorance. Everybody. Uh, so why do people feel like they have the right to control you? The more important question is, why do you feel you're being controlled? Oh, Jesus, that's crazy. Because I bet you that person wasn't even fighting you, he was fighting a dragon. To you, it was a person. To him, he was fucking. He had a sword and everything, probably. Oh, yeah, that's a no go. Like, up, oof. Oof, you're a better person than I am. Somebody threatens my mother? Oh, that's your anchor to this world. You want to change the world for better? Make sure you're better and beneficial to all involved in your life. Because just logically speaking, You're living in that body, and that body did not come from anywhere else. It came from this earth. I think it was Alan Watts that says, you know how an apple tree apples? Well, the universe peoples, and you came from here. So you want to change the world for better? Make sure that you exhaust every effort and resource making yourself the best version of yourself. That's what I had to do. But you know what? This is how smart I am. I was 40 when I went, uh-oh, wow, I got to do something. So, all y'all got time. The world is the world. It is what it is. It's always been crazy. It's always been what it is. It's just now with the advent of technology, they're showing you things. Now remember, if they show you something without a solution, then understand that by design, it's designed to just make you feel helpless. Some ideas hurt and help others. Yeah. Yo, yo, Croatia's in the house. Everybody say, what's up, Nevin? Minimum wage over here. Hopes. Hopes and the mentality is up. I'm up, boy. As a matter of fact, speaking of up, yeah, I took that picture a couple days ago. I posted it on Instagram. Oh, you're talking about where I'm from, Nevin? Did you look it up? Oof. Yep, yep. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a cool little place. I don't really watch show. Ever since I started in entertainment where I write and perform on stage, I rarely watch shows, but when I do, I like watching kind of what's the ones I watched? Older TV shows that are just fun to watch, you know. I don't usually partake in any drama or anything sad, scary. I don't do that. I'm a big fan of comedy. Once I started doing comedy, I got so pretty serious about what I watch, just because I understand that the human brain cannot tell the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. That's why when you're watching a movie or a show or whatever, and you get emotions, those emotions are not fake; they're real. That's why people cry at movies, laugh at a comedy show or a TV show, and all that. So, and emotions are how you program your brain. So, whatever emotions that you continuously hormonal soup that you continuously stir every day with what you watch and consume and read and focus on. Exactly. That's why, like, one of the greatest movies I've ever watched, I watched one time and I will never watch again. And the movie's called Requiem for a Dream, because it's so good that the emotion I felt, the helplessness that I felt watching that movie, because the movie just ended like real life, like it just ended. Nothing was resolved. It was just real life. It just kept going. I was like, wait, it just ends? Yeah, I know that, and I don't even entertain it because subconsciously you pick everything up, whether you're conscious of what you're picking up or not. Just like when somebody is in front of you being really nice and they're saying the right things and everything, but something about you, you just go like, I don't trust them. That's because you picked that stuff up. That has nothing to do with like whether you're conscious of it or not. But your brain picks everything up and then filters through it to what it needs you to survive. So, hey, if that works for you, great. Me, no, I gotta protect this. Yeah, and those individuals, that's a survival thing. Maybe they had to be two faced to survive parents that were abusive to them, and it has nothing to do with us. So to be upset at somebody like that's going through that, it's like being upset at somebody that's crying out in pain. So the best way to deal with it, if you are not at the point where you can not let it bother you, is just to go get away from it. Don't be around it. Because I mean, once people realize that, once you realize nobody's coming to save you, and you're like, oh shit, I gotta fucking take care of myself. Once you realize that, and you start taking care of yourself, what happens is you start to realize that there's people that want others to know that they have problems because they don't know how to solve them, even though they just go, I just complain. No, if you know how to solve it and don't complain about it. Everybody has their own things they're working on. You bringing an issue to somebody else is not going to help them be better unless their job, or they said, hey, if you have issues, let me help you. Then, yeah, they're in a position to help. Like for me, I was not in a position to help anyone, let alone have a conversation like this for the longest time. Like even though the like financial numbers mattered to me and or made sense, uh, I was on the street. So for me, living on the street, telling somebody, "Hey man, you should invest like this," doesn't make sense. No matter how much the information is right, the messenger doesn't look like it belongs there. And I know, don't judge the messenger, but at the same time, that's just humans. Pattern recognition for survival. I say that to say a lot of times when you're trying to help people, a lot of times they want help from people that they can obviously see that they're in a position to give said advice. And so, using me as an example, for me, starting up comedy and walking around the streets of Austin and understanding that numbers and financial stuff work a certain way, still, me saying that to anyone is like, oh, he's a crazy stoner who lives at the park. So I was like, oh shit, maybe if I just applied everything that I kind of realized and learned and then had the end result, well, here we are 5 years later. I do this full time. Like, all my bills are paid. And all that was it, and it was it's that's not a brag or nothing. That's just saying I realized that I was useless to everybody around me if all I was focusing about is how to pay my bills month to month, week to week. So I just started doing the math and hustling to do how can I do it 2 months at a time, a quarter at a time, half at a time, and then annually. And now we don't even have to think about it. But I say that to just say, to, in order to take care of the world and make a difference, it's not selfish, bro. If you think about it, it's the most selfless thing to do because you have to make yourself so strong to the point that you appear to not need anything from anyone. Because the reality is, for the 80% of the time, you don't. You just need your mate to replicate your DNA. But for the most part in today's society, you can hustle and pay bills and do all that and not have to ever deal with anyone. It's that easy. That's why it becomes a challenge. And that's why this is, man, if I would be lying to you if I said that take is extreme. It's not. Because all it was so simple. I just wanted to be what was missing in my life. Yeah, I mean, yeah, well, okay. No matter how much you dress it up, as a human being, the human animal, everything that you do is either avoidance of pain, seeking pleasure, or procreation. Everything that you do. So if you're a guy, put the way to do that now is say making money because the system's in place. But before all that, it was hunting and being the big bad mother, being the alpha or the whatever. You know the deal. But now it's about resources and resourcefulness. So take care of yourself to that point. Put yourself to the point that, let's say, when it comes to the mate part, that when somebody marries you or becomes your partner, you don't have to marry them. They can become your partner without marrying them. You don't have to involve the government in the relationship between you and another person. So let's say you find a person. What was I talking about? Oh, well, you got to make sure that when you do find your person, all it is what you bring into the equation brings raises them up. When somebody comes into your life, do they get in debt just being in your life, or does it exponentially increase everybody? The group of friends that you go to, when you leave them, do you feel energized? Does everybody feel energized, or do they feel drained? Or do you feel drained? It's weird because emotionally, when I'm done for the night and I leave the homies and I leave the club and then I get to the house, it's it's just weird. Like, I'm exhausted, like, holy shit. But I feel ridiculously fulfilled. having seen the homies, having written a joke, having tried out a joke, having made some content, or just having to sit down and watch a 25-year-old kid living their dream. They've figured out what they're going to do for the rest of their life. And I dare anybody to walk out the door and ask as many people and find out how many people know what they're going to do, no matter how much money's in their bank account. You take care of yourself. It's your responsibility to make sure that this meat vehicle needs nothing. So that way, when people go, I need you, Nova, Nova goes, cool. I got spare energy. I don't have to worry about where I'm going to get my next meal. I'll help you find your next meal. I'll help you hunt. I'll help you hustle. I'll help you sell because I have the time because I took care of myself. It's just logic, brother. It's just logic, and it's not eh, the when I started this, I started realizing it's so much. There's a lot, and there's a lot of people that end up being really courteous to me and decent humans to me, and I'm like, man, how do I? I can't just say thank you, thank you, thank you every day. I gotta do something about this. So but there was nothing I could do if I was sleeping on the street. There was nothing I could do if I was broke other than show up and volunteer my time. So before I had anything, all I did at the club that I was doing mics at or sitting and writing at is I would just pick up chairs at the end of the night. I don't I didn't pay to come in and they let me write and go on stage and test my material. Yeah, I'm gonna pick up chairs and take out trash before I leave. Everybody else pays to come in the club to watch. And just because I said I am a comic, I get to walk in and work on my stuff and go on stage. The least I could do is put the trash away and when I'm done smoking, not throw butts on the ground and work on my craft and be of service to everyone. I say this every stream. Einstein is quoted for saying compounding interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Nowhere in that statement does he say anything about currency. He said compounding interest. And friends, nothing compounds faster than goodwill, especially when you're just being decent to be decent. I'm being nice to you, not because I need something from you back. I'm just being nice, being decent because it costs no money. And here's the craziest part, the universe is a sealed environment. So if I put out nice, so nice left me, then the only open spot in me is for nice and decent to come to. But if I'm an asshole out, the only hole left is an asshole to get filled. And you know what? If I'm a dick, I don't think anybody has a bigger dick than life to fuck you with when you're an asshole to its creation, i.e., other people. Hey, but I'm high. Don't listen to me. You know what I mean? Because say no to drugs. Up with hope, down with doubt. I'm speaking from experience. It happened to be facts. Okay, I'm speaking from my experience. I appreciate it. I don't want anybody in this stream to believe me. I want you guys to test and go out, and if this makes sense to you, prove it to yourself or prove me wrong. And then come back and go, Max, you're full of shit. You know? I'll give you one to try. Something tangible, a tangible skill. Every argument that you ever have, if you have a disagreement with someone and you got to deal with it and you guys have a conversation, take these three words out of the whole conversation. Take you, always, and never out of every conversation, every time you have a disagreement. Take those three words out of that conversation and see what type of solutions you can come up with. See, or just think back to an argument that you had that stuck with you. And then just imagine that argument without you saying any of those words, without you saying you, always, and never. And see if it doesn't make you realize what you're being perceived as. Again, I'm not the smartest tool in the six pack. I didn't come up with this shit. This is from experience, and then this is just I'm just saying, hey, I am not the one to tell you how to have a good marriage. I will tell you how to not fuck it up because I know how I fucked it up. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of, and if I get passionate about something, I'm not yelling at y'all. I ever have an argument with somebody in the past, you're just doing it with the person in front of you. That's what I'm doing. I'm just yelling at my younger self. I don't want him to change anything. Hey, reality check. Nobody does. Nobody knows anything about marriage. Every marriage that's last long, they can sit here and tell you all the different ways that they've done it. If you have 100 couples, they're going to tell you 100 different things on why their stuff lasted 30 years. And you realize that some people were doing it out of spite. And you hear comics talk about it. All right, guys, we are almost there. I appreciate it, man. It's always a great time talking to people that are listening and listening to like actually try to and then responding appropriately instead of listening and then trying to counter whatever, like asking questions and clarifying and let's try to understand each other. And the it's kind of one-sided, right? On you guys' side because you guys get to hear the words, which is only 7% of human communication. The other 93 is body language and tonality. Questions are always a good thing for as long as you're, because once you ask a question, you're going to get answers. Now, the answers are not always what you would like. Answers are not, they have no bearing. Your feelings have no bearing on answers, basically. You know, it's like you have the absolute freedom to make any decision you want to make, but you You got no freedom from the consequences. So ask any question. Questions are always good. Just the answers and your perception of them and reaction to them, that's a different thing. It's just, you know, all stimuli is neutral. Humans assign meaning to hormonal profiles, which is your hormonal profile is your map of your world. Just listen to your words. It's your map of the world. And the map is not the territory it represents. Ah, you're not crazy. You think. And that's not illegal yet. So, you know, I mean, we're all one thing. I mean, technically speaking, you can make anything illegal or legal, but whether or not it'll be happening, that's a different thing. Because they try hard. They're not so much illegal, but they do like assigning meaning and saying that's wrong. Think like you can't think like that when the beauty of maturity is being able to entertain thoughts and ideas without hanging on to them. And also, if you really think about it, thoughts aren't even yours. You're literally a radio just receiving everything. The human nervous system is a front end for the radio with a crystal in the middle of it, just like any radio. I literally have a crystal radio sitting right here. Well, parts of it, because I'm making one as a project. I got to refresh some knowledge. No, and it's a joke. Thinking is won't be illegal, but the expression of thoughts and ideas counter to the mainstream will be highly frowned upon and probably ostracized. It's a big fucking word, man. See, I'm using big words every time I get to the end of this bleezy. It's how you know it's good. When the stoner with a high school diploma starts using uh well, I'm not defending anything, but everything has a purpose and serves a purpose. And the ultimate good exists because, I mean, the law of correspondence tells you everything. Everything has its corresponding. It, it's just that those laws are not human, they're universal. They were here before we got here. You know, for good to exist, something else contrary, and it's not even different. Yeah, it's a sealed environment. Just imagine if this whole universe, you and I, everything known and unknown. Imagine that is a snow globe that you look at, right? Those little Christmas snow globes, and you shake it and all that. Everything moves. When everything moves. Nothing moves with nothing else moving. In order for somebody to walk, the ground has to exist. And then the opposite has to happen. Like, fastest car in the world, at any point in time, there's a patch of tire that is not moving. That's why the car is moving. It's called traction. So the tire of a car has damn near all the speeds from the bottom is 0 miles an hour at any point in time. And that's what I'm saying. The slowest car in the world and the fastest car in the world, at any point in time, those two cars have one piece of them that's moving as 0 miles an hour. And it's whatever is in contact with the surface of the earth or the track that it's on. That's just our known laws of physics. The latest Nobel Peace Prize that they just awarded was to a guy that just did the equations. It showed that localized reality here only exists when it's observed. Outside of that, just probability. Exactly. And they don't like I just like I said, I just boil down things as far as I can to first principles that I can apply to my life. And the way I did it was like I had to do it with something tangible. So I just went, okay, let me balance a budget. That's something everybody has to do, something I have to do on a regular basis. And then fast forward, it's automated now. Like, it's anybody can do this. And then, okay, that's possible. Now what? What's next? Well, can I just sit here and do something and hang out with people and smoke weed and somehow all my bills are paid? Turns out, yes, you can. Because you know how people make money? They sit in front of computers and do it. They just go to a job. I decided, let me figure out what I can do with all this information, access to all the information in the palm of our hand, and live in a country where we have the freedom to do something with that information, and then I'm broke? No. then that's a me problem. I needed to figure out. They had nothing to do with anyone. Nobody was coming to save me. It just took that long for me to realize that. And for it to make sense to me. You hear these things your whole life. I'm learning things my grandfather told me, and he's been dead for years. And he told me when I was 5, 7. I remember exactly when the lesson was needed. I remember exactly when he told me. I remember when he told me something, and then like recently I had to deal with some shit in my life, and I remember sitting there mending fishing nets with him, and him just telling me something that as a 5-year old I had no point of reference for, but as a 40-year old I'm like, holy shit, this makes all the sense in the world. I got it, and life was easier to deal with. I was like I didn't know I was going to need that. That's what I mean when I say that your brain filters things, but it's recording everything. Just like when you get a core memory, a song comes on, and you're like, "Oh fuck, I remember exactly where I was when that song came on." But consciously, you didn't even know. Yeah, and I remember being frustrated with, "Oh, you'll understand when I'm older." I remember when my mom said like, "You'll understand when your kids like you," and then I have a daughter that's, bruh, independent, don't want to deal with shit like, "Oh, if I need something, I'll let you know." Like, okay. I was like, wow, I feel useless right now. But yeah, what happens when kids grow up, they become adults and they live their own life. And once I kind of grew up, yeah, 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 we're good. It's just like they have their, like, I remember I was working for so many years that I forgot that when I was finally retired, like, now it's their time to work for so many years, and now I have the time and I want to spend time with my daughter, but they're not babies. They're not, she's not a baby. She has a, I have my own, she has a, well, I have a grandbaby, you know what I mean? So like, it's, her focus is there now, not on trying to make me feel good about myself, but because that focus is there, it makes me feel good about myself that she's independent. But the dad in me is going, oh man, my little girl doesn't need me. And that's, yeah, that kicks you in the nuts every fucking time. Shit. Yeah, like I said, like when so like it, like I'm open, especially with like I have open channels if anybody needs me for those in my life that need me. It's just really rough. It was a rough transition because for the longest time I thought I had to be everything to a whole bunch of people that I didn't even appreciate not one thing I did or didn't even know who I was. And they're family members, and then I had to let go of all that, just, and then until I had nothing, and then once I was took care of myself, I'm like, okay, I can stand on my own. Then I went, let me start what is conducive to my life that I can bring, whether it's activities or people or habits that are gonna keep this going and keep my level headed here instead of trying to fix everything in the world, only to realize that the damage wasn't in the world. My glasses were dirty. I appreciate it, Nova. These things mean something to me, man. Thank you. Thank you. They do mean something to me because, like I said, 12,000 days. So uh, the other half's gone, and I can't go back and give these lessons to myself to not be a dick. So I figure I share them here. You know what I mean? This has been amazing, guys. Nova, this is the Nova episode. I'll tell you that much. So one love, yo. Peace. Be nice to one another. Oh, and go out and touch grass, breathe air, look at the sun, the usual stuff. You. Peace.